ॐ नमो नारायणाय ॐ नमो नारायणाय
Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmad Paramagurubhyo Namaha, Asmad Sarvagurubhyo Namaha. So we're continuing today with Hari Bhakti Vilas. Now we've come to the 13th Vilas. And so Vilas 12 was all about Ekadasi. We have some continuing information about Ekadasi coming up in the 13th Vilas. Text 1. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who is non-different from Lord Krishna, who constantly increases the happiness of the devotees, and by whose mercy even fallen souls can feel it must be enjoyment in his can feel enjoy his association, can enjoy his association, as if a continuous festival of transcendental pleasure. So normally in the first verse of every vilas, of every chapter, vilas means pleasure, so pleasurable chapter, pleasurable section, let's say, of Hari Bhakti Vilas, starts with a more or less a Mangalacharanam, which is an initiating auspicious verse in which he praises Lord Chaitanya and also gives a hint about what the contents of the Vilas is going to be about. So here he's saying something about continuous festival of transcendental pleasure. So it seems like we're in for another chapter about festivals, and indeed 14 and 15, as we go on with Hari Bhakti Vilas, we're going to get more and more explanation about different festivals through the year. We're still talking about Ekadasi, however, the Ekadasi Vratam. Text 2. Duties to be performed the day before Ekadasi. The day before Ekadasi, of course, Ekadasi is the 11th day of the moon, both waning and waxing. And the day before it is Dasami, or the 10th day of the moon, both waning and waxing. So here we have text 2. After shaving and bathing, one should dress in clean clothes, perform his morning duties, and observe a festival along with other Vaishnavas having made the vow to do so. So we can see words here. Prataha Snanadikam means kritva. Kritva means having done our morning, prataha. Snanadi means bath and other things after the bath. So beginning with bath and other things, right? Suvesho, dauta, vastrika. He's talking about wearing clean clothes. Vrata sankalpya kurvita. And he's going to make a vow. You're going to make a vow or a sankalpa for the vrata, declaration of the vow of Ekadasi. Vaishnavas, along with the Vaishnavas, you should perform Mahotsava, a great festival. All right, so here is the mantras for accepting the vow. This is the sankalpa mantra for Ekadasi. So every Ekadasi, the day before, the people who want to follow Ekadasi, they should make this vow. Dasami dinamarabhya karisyeham vratam tava tridinam deva devesha nirvignam kuru keshava. Okay, it means, O master of the demigods headed by Brahma, O Keshava, I will observe this vow for 3 days. Please enable me to complete it successfully. So specifically in the vow here of Ekadasi, it mentions that it starts on Dasami, the day before. The vow actually starts, the rules and regulations for Ekadasi start on the day before, and they go on to the day after Ekadasi and include the Ekadasi day itself. So there are 3 days on which we have to observe rules for Ekadasi. So it's very clear here. Dasami dinam arabhya. Arabhya means starting with, right? Karishye means I will do. Aham, I. Karishye, I will do. Right? Vratam, this vow of this festival vow of yours, tava. Right? Tri dinam, very simple. Dinam means day, so tri dinam means 3 days. These are 3 days. Deva Devesha, O Lord of Lords, right? Nirving Kuru, please. This is asking the Lord to to clear all the obstacles, and Keshava, oh Keshava, vocative case. So, text 4. During a festival, one need not take bath if he accidentally touches one who is considered untouchable. So when we say one who is considered untouchable, it could also be not just a person who's untouchable, considered untouchable because they're contaminated, or it could be a thing which is untouchable. So let's see what that. So it says asprisha, not touching, right? Asprisha, sparshepi. Okay, nashnanam. Okay. So from the Vishnu Smriti, the text 4 says, after seeing a sinful person who bathes, fearing that he has touched a contaminated object or person during a festival of Lord Vasudeva, one should bathe with his clothes on for purification. So this is a pretty common method of becoming purified, is to take a bath with actually your clothes on. So it means that the clothes that they're talking about is, often in the West we wear, in colder countries or whatever, we might be wearing a whole lot of clothes. But in India, the normal simple clothing in a tropical Southeast Asia or East Asia or South Asia is a simple wrapped piece of cloth, like a dhoti or a lungi, vesti, or for ladies, a type of sari wrapped around, or type of sarong. And so, and maybe an angavastram for the men, another cloth wrapped around the top part of the body. So wearing those sort of clothes, taking a bath, meaning fully immersing yourself in a pond of water or a river or even the ocean, like that, you're completely immersed. That's the type of bath we're talking about. If not possible, we can draw water from a well in a pot, and we can pour that over us also, wearing the clothes. So that's what it's saying here. Now, text 5. One should and that's if we even see somebody who's sinful, or which is pretty common, okay, to see somebody who's sinful, right? We're all sinful, so you sort of wonder about exactly the particulars of how practical this is. But anyhow, this is the idea. So text 5. One should offer suitable prayers to Lord Krishna and then announce the rules and regulations of the 3-day vow, just as King Rukmangada did by sitting on an elephant and sounding big drums. Okay, so now we'll probably hear some more about the rules and regulations for the Vrata of Ekadasi. Text 6. This is confirmed by a statement from the Naradi Purana, and it says, "O citizens, tomorrow is Ekadasi, the day of Lord Hari, and so today you should eat Havishana just once and avoid eating any salt or kshara foods." Okay, so it's saying here, now it's going to probably explain what Havishana means. Havisha usually means um, a mixture of grains and things that are offered into the fire in a fire sacrifice or homa, right? And anna, of course, means food generally, but in more specific terms, it could also mean cooked rice. So Havishana, right? But it's saying here you should avoid salty foods, kshara foods. And also the important thing to note here is that Ekadasi is actually 3 nights fasting. So that means 3 nights we don't take food in the night. We take food only once a day. In the ancient times, people used to take food twice a day only, right? So there's none of this idea of 3 meals a day. There was a brunch type meal, which was the main meal around just before or at noon, which came after we did the morning bath, the morning Sandhyavandanam, the other morning rituals, and then another bath and midday Sandhyavandanam, and the actual worship of the Lord, right? The worship of the deity for the day, and then the prasadam, which the boga or the naivedyam, which was offered to the deity, was then became the the prasadam, which we take in the around the noontime, when we have our first or main meal, when the sun is highest and the digestion is best. And then again in the evening, not exactly evening, but late afternoon, early evening, there will be another meal, and that will be the two main meals of the day. And so, this is a normal system that was there in the ancient times. So cutting that down to one time. So eating one time on Dasami, and we'll see later on, eating one time on Dwadasi, the day after Ekadasi, and fully fasting on Ekadasi is the 3 nights fasting situation. So that's why it's saying here. Okay, so here it's saying avoid salty foods. Right. So text 7. During these 3 days, you should sleep on the floor and avoid sex indulgence. That's pretty clear. It was in this way, fix your mind on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, the supreme controller and the primeval personality of Godhead. You should eat only once on Dwadasi as well. So that's what I was saying. Once on Dasami, once on Dwadasi, and no food on Ekadasi itself, like that. So the interesting thing here is that usually when vows are explained in the Shastras, it's very normal. It's very normal to not do anything for one's own pleasure, right? To not sleep in a comfortable bed, not to have sex, not to shave, not to um, even wash your clothes. Any selfish act or any act for one's own pleasure, and one should try to fix his mind on the Supreme Lord Krishna. Text 8. Okay, so eating grains on Ekadasi. Well, now here, what does it say actually? It says, I don't see a word exactly for grains in the Sanskrit, but let's say eating food on Ekadasi is more abominable than having sex with one's mother, eating beef, killing, or drinking wine. Therefore, one should never eat grains on Ekadasi, is what they've translated it as. Just basically saying one should not eat on Ekadasi. One should not eat on Ekadasi anything. Varam Swamatragamanam. Swamatragamanam means having sex with your mother. Go Mamsa Bhakshanam is eating cow meat. Hatya is killing. Surapadam, I'm not quite sure. Naika Ekadasyantu Bhojanam. So it means don't eat anything on Ekadasi. Okay, so text 9, Atak Kshara. What are Kshara foods? So we had a couple of slokas back, we had a rule: don't eat things which are considered Kshara or Kshara, or what is it saying? It's any salt or Kshara foods. So here's the definition of Kshara foods here in text 9. The Kshara preparations are grains, except sesame seeds, mung dal, shami rice, which is a type of rice, koduma, koda rice. These may be different types of rice. Peas, peas. I'm not sure if I can see peas there. Peas and deva rice. So there are certain different types of grains and rice, but not sesame seeds. Okay. Now we'll hear about Havisha, because we were talking about Havisha. You can eat Havisha, but don't eat those things which are Kshara. Okay, so here's the ingredients for Havisha. Havisha is here. O sages, unboiled white rice. I'm not sure what it means by unboiled white rice. Unboiled white rice that grows during the period of October to December, mung dal, barley, sesame, peas. It seems like peas were forbidden in the previous section. It's very interesting. We need to go more into detail about this, because some of the things which were banned in the previous section are also being said here that you can eat. So anyway, so unboiled rice. I think when it says unboiled rice here, what it means is unparboiled rice. So sometimes rice is parboiled. It's slightly boiled before it's stored, and then that type of rice is much quicker to cook later on. So that's called parboiled. Even today we have parboiled rice. So I think it means parboiled, unboiled. So unboiled rice means not parboiled. Okay, so we have, as far as I'm, no, okay, might be wrong. Anyway, we have mung dal, barley, sesame, peas, kaon, I don't know what it is, nivara, I don't know what it is, shama rice, betu shak, kelencha shak, salincha sak, kala sak. Okay, these are all different types of spinach or green leafy vegetables. Shak means that. Radish. Radish may be the white radish, the long white radish, or the daikon radish, which they have in India. Probably is. There is also this small round red radish, which not many people in South India eat, but there may be some in North India who eat it. Sweet potato. Signed of a salt. Signed of a salt. I'm not sure exactly what signed of a salt means. Maybe it means rock salt, because we have then ocean salt. Cow's yogurt, cow's ghee, and milk without taking out the cream. So we have cow's yogurt, yogurt made from cow's milk, ghee made from cow's milk, milk without taking out the cream. And it's assumed to be cow's milk, I guess. So milk, yogurt, and ghee of the cow, jackfruit, mango, long pepper. Now, long pepper, I'm not exactly sure what long pepper is, because at the time of writing the Shastras, there was no chili in India. But anyway, this is a thing called long pepper. Cumin seeds, oranges, tamarind, bananas, gourds. So there might be some sort of pumpkin or gourds. Um, embolic molybdenum. That may be the amalaki fruit, which is amalaki, which is a very astringent, got a lot of vitamin C fruit. Other fruit, sugar candy, meaning rock. So sugar would be the palm or the sugar cane sugar, which is like the brown Mexican sugar that we get. So called jaggery, probably gudam. Yeah, up here it's called gudam. And then we have rock candy, sugar candy, which is the kalkand. It's the rock candy, uh, um, refined sugar, and preparations that are not fried can be used for making havisha. So you can take all those things and you can make. It looks like mostly, if you were to combine a lot of those things, you would come out with some sort of khichdi type preparation or mixture, or some sort of rice with vegetables like that. But then again, we have some other things there, maybe tamarind rice and with some different vegetables. Okay, so other rules to be followed in this regard from Skanda Purana. It says in text 14, one should avoid eating using plates made of bell metal, animal flesh. Now, I don't know anybody who eats from a plate made of animal flesh, but there you go. It's forbidden. Masur dal. Masur dal. I'm not exactly sure. Masur dal. It may be that red lentils. Honey. Uh, avoid using plates and avoid eating. That's what it means. So avoid plates of bell metal, and then avoid eating animal flesh, masur dal, honey, speaking lies, right? Eating more than once, and exercising one's body. Okay, so these are the sort of things which are forbidden. And it seems like they're forbidden for the whole vratam, which would mean um, at least up until the breakfast on the Dwadasi, from the Dasami time, from the taking of the vow, from the Sankalpa. Usually, when you do a vratam, you'll take a vow, a Sankalpa, and you'll start the vow, and there'll be a particular time up to which the rules of the vow are observed, and then you end the fast, or you end the vrata. Text 15, Kurma Purana says, While observing a fast, one should renounce the use of bell metal pots, animal flesh, masoor dal, peas, koda rice, spinach. Now that's interesting. It says here spinach, whereas up there the Havisha mentioned certain types of spinach that were you could eat. So we have to look into that in detail to see if there's any contradiction here. Like that. Fried rice. So it seems like you're not supposed to eat fried rice, but you can eat ordinary, boiled rice, and sexual intercourse. Okay, so this is like a general instruction. This is like a general instruction for observing a fast. Then text 16, bell metal, masoor dal, eating twice a day, what to speak of 3 or 4 times a day, right? Or more, playing chess and drinking too much water should be avoided on Dasami. Okay, so that's interesting. Text 17 from the Matsya Purana, it says, one should give up the following 12 things: bell metal, flesh, wine, honey, oil, telling lies, exercise, traveling, sleeping during the day, enjoying sex, any paste that is ground by a machine. Any paste that is ground by a machine. Interesting. And Masur Dal. Text 18. In another Smriti, it's stated, one should eat only once on Dasami, control his senses, and brush his teeth after eating Havishana. Now, then it says one should not brush his teeth on Ekadasi. So it seems like on Dasami you can brush your teeth. On Ekadasi you should not brush your teeth. So I think there was a discussion. There might have been a discussion earlier. I don't remember exactly, but there are toothbrushes which are made of twigs from certain trees that have certain types of sap, and you grind them up between your molar teeth and make a brush and brush your teeth, and then you break them so that one part of them is like a loop, and you can use them to scrape the tongue. This is the normal system of traditional toothbrush making and using. But on certain days, like here it's stated Ekadasi, that system is not used. You still have to clean the tongue and you still have to clean the mouth, and you can do it by using leaves, by particular leaves. All right. All right. So, but on certain days like Ekadasi or other fast days, I think usually using a toothbrush is forbidden. Of course, nowadays people use different types of toothbrush, and at least you can use a finger also instead of a toothbrush. If you sometimes in India they sell this Ayurvedic toothpaste or tooth powder, which you can just take it with your finger and you can clean your teeth. So the glories of brushing one's teeth. Okay, so here because we've mentioned toothbrush, we've got a section here explaining more about toothbrushes and brushing the teeth. So in Brahma Vaivarta Purana, text 19, it says here, when one brushes his teeth and cleans his tongue after having his meal on Dasami, prior to observing the vow of Ekadasi or Dwadasi, Yamaraj will lose all hope of torturing him to hell. So it's really praising cleaning your teeth and your tongue after this meal that you observe, this one meal that you take on Dasami. So really getting everything clean. Then text 20, Yamaraj must sadly remove his name from the list of sinners, and he will not suffer the consequences of his sinful activities due to fasting on Ekadasi. Text 21, the symptoms of Eka Bhakta. Taking one's meal regularly soon after noon is called Eka Bhakta. One should carefully observe this practice. Okay, so basically, just after the noon, after you finish the daily puja, if you take food, a type of brunch or lunch, then this is called Eka Bhakta. Eka Bhakta. Here, Bhakta doesn't mean devotion. It means eating food. Eka Bhakta means taking one time. So, text 22. On the night of Dasami, one should observe strict celibacy, remember the Supreme Lord, and spend the night being satisfied by rest by lying on the floor. Now, text 23. the duties to be performed on a fast day. So now we're getting past the dasami and we're coming to the actual fast day of Ekadasi, where there's no eating at all. One should bathe early in the morning and worship the Supreme Lord while following the prescribed rules and regulations. Then one should take a copper plate and make a formal vow. So we already made a vow before, which encompasses 3 days, rules for 3 days. Now we have to make a vow for the particular day of Ekadasi. Text 24. Sage Devala has said, a learned devotee should dip a fig leaf in water kept in a copper pot and then make a formal vow while sitting facing east. Here's the mantra for that vow. Text 25. Mantras for making a formal vow. So here's the mantra. O lotus-eyed Lord, O Achyuta, I will observe fasting on Ekadasi and break my fast on Dwadasi. Please be merciful to me so I may not break my vow. So the mantra is like this. Ekadasyam niraharaha stitvaham aparehani bokshami pundarikaksha sharanam me bhavachute. Text 26. After chanting this mantra, offer some flowers at the lotus feet of the Lord, the deity that you have in the house or the temple, and one should drink a little purified water. Text 27. This is confirmed by sage Markandeya. Those who wish to obtain the full benefit of fasting, should sip some purified water and chant the 8-syllable mantra 3 times. The 8-syllable Vishnu mantra is Om Namo Narayanaya. Text 28. After doing so, one should worship Lord Krishna and offer him flowers, or recite mantras for making a formal vow and sip some purified water. So this is always there. It's always that we sip some water, meaning taking doing achmana, and then chanting this. It's not exactly mentioned the 8-syllable, which 8-syllable mantra it is here. Maybe if we look in the purport, if we look in the Tika by Sanat Goswami, Digdarshini Tika, we would find the 8-syllable mantra, but normally the 8-syllable mantra refers to Om Namo Narayanaya. It might be some other mantra, we don't know. Okay. So text 29. If dasami continues after midnight, one should wait 12 hours and then make a fresh vow by chanting mantras. This text 30, this is stated as follows. If dasami continues after midnight, one should worship the Lord and make a formal vow only after the polluted Ekadasi is over. Right. So in this case, if there's a mixed Ekadasi, which we were discussing in the last Vilasa, then we have to wait until that is over before we do the vow. So in the Narada Purana, it says in text 31, because of the touch of dasami, one should wait for 12 hours on Ekadasi and then perform his worship and bathing and then make his vow. Text 32, if the duties prescribed for Ekadasi cannot be performed during the daytime for some reason, they should be performed in the evening. So that I would like to see if there's any purport for that, because it's not exactly clear what the duties are for Ekadasi and how, if you can't do them, you can perform them in the evening. So text 33, intelligent persons who have made the above-mentioned vow should spend their days and nights engaging in the various limbs of devotional service. Text 34, therefore in Skanda Purana it is stated, to obtain the full benefit of fasting, intelligent persons should spend their days and nights worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Text 35, the process for observing a vow. So in the Griha Parishishta, Katyayana Smriti, Vishnu Dharma, and Brahma Vaivarta Purana, it is stated, so apparently this verse is in all these 4 scriptures, right? Fasting also means abstaining from sinful activities and material enjoyment while maintaining proper code of conduct. Okay, so just in case people were thinking that they can commit sins, during a fast, during a vow or a fast, they cannot, and they also should try to avoid material enjoyment. Text 36, things that should be avoided on a fast day. So sage Shatatapa has said, applying cosmetics, wearing jewelry, new clothes, and flower garlands, applying sandalwood paste, using a toothbrush, and putting ointment on the eyes, meaning kajal or mascara, right? Pollute the observance of an Ekadasi. Text 37, Vyasadeva has also said, wearing flower garlands, jewelry, and new clothes, applying sandalwood paste, smelling incense, using a toothbrush, and applying ointment to the eyes pollutes a fast. Okay, so that's just to back up what was said in the previous sloka. Text 38, sins committed against fasting. Sage Sumanta has said, to not follow the rules and regulations prescribed in scripture, to not control the senses, and to indulge in activities prohibited in Shastra. Sage Shatatapa has said, text 39, those who observe the vow of Ekadasi should avoid speaking lies, sleeping during the day, which is something that just and indulging in sexual intercourse. So sleeping during the day, Madivaha Swapsihi is one of the things at the Upanayana ceremony when the boys when the young people take Upanayana, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas to study the Vedas, right? So they're given Brahmopadesh, a Gayatri mantra, and they're also given the certain vows to do, like collect firewood for the sacred fires for the guru, and don't sleep during the day. This is one of the vows of brahmacharya for brahmacharis. Okay, so text 40. In Vishnu Dharma, it's stated, devotees of Lord Vishnu who observe a fast should neither associate with nor speak to atheists. So this is during the vow. Text 41, Sri Vishnu Purana, in Sri Vishnu Purana, it's stated, one should give up associating with or conversing with sinful atheists, especially while observing a vow or performing a sacrifice. Okay, so while performing a vow or in the middle of performing a sacrifice, don't talk to atheists. Text 42, atonement or committing such a sin. So what happens if you do? Right, an intelligent person happens to see an atheist on a fast day, he should purify himself by looking directly at the sun. Don't look too long because it'll hurt your eyes, but one should just glance at the sun to purify himself. The sun is purifying as it's the representation of Surya Narayana in this universe. Text 43. From the Vishnu Dharma is stated, if an intelligent person meets a godless man, he should bathe and look at the sun to become purified. And if a wise man speaks with an atheist, he should quickly remember Lord Achyuta, the infallible one. Text 44, qualities to be displayed on a fast day. In the Bhavishya Purana, it is stated, forgiveness, truthfulness, compassion, silence, purity, control of the senses, worship of the Lord, performance of fire sacrifice, satisfaction, and abstaining from stealing. These are qualities which should be displayed on a fast day. Now, text 45, in a conversation between Yamaraj and Dhumraketu that's found in the Padma Purana, it's stated, while remaining self-restrained on Dasami and Ekadasi, one should spend his day and night glorifying Lord Krishna while remaining aloof from anger and acts of violence. Text 46, in the Vishnu Dharmotara, it is stated, learned authorities have said that chanting the holy names of the Lord, chanting mantras in relation to the Lord, meditating on the transcendental form of the Lord, hearing and chanting about his qualities and pastimes, and worshipping him are the best activities to be performed on a fast day. Text 47, the glories of fasting. In the Vishnu Dharma, it is stated, if one who is observing a fast meditates on Lord Hari with devotion, chants mantras in relation to him, engages in his devotional service, meditates on his lotus feet, and remains aloof from sense gratification, he will undoubtedly attain the transcendental abode of the Lord Vaikuntha, just as Prahlad did. Text 48, the other rules to be followed on a fast day. Sage Katyayana has said, while fasting, one must observe strict celibacy. Say text 49. Sage Devala has said, celibacy, non-violence, truthfulness, and abstinence from meat, fish, or eggs. These four things must be observed on a fast day. So it's very interesting, that we read many, many statements here that you shouldn't eat meat on a fast day. You shouldn't eat fish or eggs on a fast day. Well, it's interesting that they should say that. Why are they saying that? If people were not doing this anytime, why would there be a need to say don't do it specifically on a fast day? It maybe means that there was such a society where there were people who were non-vegetarian. Interesting. So text 50, it's also said, drinking water again and again, chewing betel nuts even once, sleeping during the day, and enjoying sexual intercourse pollutes fasting. Text 51. One will lose the benefit of fasting if he uses a toothbrush, chews betel nuts, sleeps during the day, indulges in sexual intercourse, or drinks water again and again. So when it says drinks water again and again, it probably means that drinking a lot of water, like that, drinking a lot of water again and again. But obviously there may be a necessity to take some water. So activities that break of the vow of celibacy, text 52. Okay, so this is interesting. By Sage Devala, he said this is what it means by celibacy. It's giving it more detailed understanding of celibacy. Looking at a woman with lust, touching a woman, or talking with a woman goes against one's vows of celibacy. Whereas enjoying sexual intercourse with one's wife during the prescribed days, except on a fast day, does not go against one's vow of celibacy. Okay. So this is a definition of celibacy here. So look at a woman with lust, touching a woman, talking with a woman, that breaks the rules of celibacy. Whereas enjoying sexual intercourse with one's wife during prescribed days, except for fast days, right, does not go against the vow of celibacy. That's an interesting, I wonder, Sage Devala, but doesn't say exactly what scripture that comes from. Text 53, after completing one's daily worship, one should perform the special worship that is prescribed for his vow and then remain awake throughout the entire night. Text 54, the process of worship on a fast day. In the Brahma Purana, it's stated, O great sage, with devotion, one should build a beautiful flower decoration around one's worshipable Lord using various types of flowers. Text 55 to 58 in the same Purana, that is the Brahma Purana, it's also stated, during ecodices of both the waxing moon and the waning moon, one should control his minds and senses and abstain from eating, bathe according to the injunctions of the scriptures, dress in clean clothes, and worship Lord Vishnu with faith by offering him sandalwood paste, flowers, incense, a ghee lamp, food, and other paraphernalia. After doing so, one should chant various mantras, perform a fire sacrifice, circumambulate the Lord, offer suitable prayers, sing songs in glorification of the Lord, play musical instruments, and dance in ecstasy. One should then offer obeisances to the Lord by falling flat on the ground while exclaiming, Jai, Jai, or Jaya, Jaya. He should then remain awake the entire night. Text 59. Devotees of Lord Vishnu should congregationally sing songs or discuss the scriptures. By doing this, they will undoubtedly attain the supreme abode of the Lord. Text 60. In the Bhavishya Purana, it's stated, on the night of Ekadasi, one should faithfully worship Lord Vishnu, observing all the prescribed rules and regulations, and remain awake the entire night discussing the Puranas and performing other devotional activities. Text 61. The procedure to be observed while remaining awake all night. So this is the night of the Ekadasi, I believe, not the night of Dasami, the night of Ekadasi. So to greet the assembled devotees of the Lord, one should sprinkle some Ganges water or water from a conch shell on them and on his own head, and recite the appropriate prayers. Text 62, after hearing narrations of the Puranas, one should personally sing and dance and watch others sing and dance. One should never stop anyone who is dancing, nor make fun of anyone. Okay, so it's interesting here. The previous sloka talks about sprinkling water on people's heads. Ganges water from a conch shell. Does that mean that we're sprinkling water to keep ourselves awake at night? I'm not sure. Interesting. So, text 63. One should not discourage others from singing and dancing while remaining awake the entire night. In Padma Purana, it's stated, one who forbids others to sing and dance while remaining awake at night will rot in hell for 60,000 yugas. Text 64. One who makes fun of those who are dancing while remaining awake the entire night will have to reside in hell for one full kalpa. Text 65. The need for observing this procedure. In Skanda Purana, it's stated, Yamaraj has declared, those who do not watch others dance while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi will suffer hellish life and are unfit to be seen. Text 66. It's also said Yamaraj sits on the chest and uproots the eyes of those who have not watched those who remain awake the entire night of Ekadasi. Text 67. It's also said, only those whose vision has been burnt in the fire of Kali do not watch those who remain awake at night of the night of Ekadasi and Lord Krishna, the benefactor of everyone. So it seems very clear that it's really pushing the idea that one should remain awake all night on the Ekadasi night. Text 68. Proud and deceitful Kali must have covered with sin the eyes of those who have no interest in watching those who worship the Lord during the night of Ekadasi. Text 69. The process for staying up all night. In a conversation between Lord Brahma and Narada Muni that is recorded in the Skanda Purana, it is stated, O Narada, hear now with attention as I describe to you the procedure for remaining awake at night. By understanding this, it will be easier for you to obtain Lord Janardana's mercy. Text 70 to 73. After staying awake the entire night on Ekadasi, one should remain fully engaged by singing, playing musical instruments, dancing, reciting the Puranas, burning incense and ghee lamps, offering food to the Lord, as well as flowers, sandalwood paste, fruit, and arghya with faith and devotion, giving charity, controlling one's senses, speaking truthfully, giving up idleness, engaging in blissful services to the Lord, enacting dramas, remaining enthusiastic, avoiding sinful activities, circumambulating the deity, and offering obeisances and arti to the Lord. Text 74. It's also said, those who give up miserliness and engage in these activities while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi will surely gain the association of Lord Vishnu, the supersoul of all living entities. Text 75. The wicked person who, despite being a well-to-do gentleman, displays miserliness while remaining awake the entire night of Ekadasi certainly cheats himself and not the Lord. Text 76. In a conversation between Uma, that means Lord Shiva's wife, Parvati, and Maheshwara, Lord Shiva, right? That is recorded in the same literature that was, I believe, Skanda Purana, right? These verses are found. While remaining awake the night of Ekadasi, one should study devotional literature, sing and dance according to methods prescribed in the literature dealing with music, light up the entire area with bright lamps, invite all the devotees, arrange for the required articles, cultivate devotional service, and remain satisfied while trying to please the Supreme Lord and his devotees. One should engage in all these activities during both the night of both the Ekadasi of the waxing moon and the Ekadasi of the waning moon. Text 79 to 80. Remaining awake all night on Ekadasi while blaspheming others, becoming agitated, giving up the study of the scriptures, engaging in worldly singing and dancing, failing to offer a ghee lamp, failing to collect the necessary paraphernalia because of miserliness, being idle, sleeping, or quarreling with others is considered useless. Text 81. In the same literature, it's further said, O goddess, if there is a lack of qualified persons to recite the scriptures, then one should arrange for chanting and dancing. If there is someone qualified to recite scriptures, then he should begin with the Puranas. That's interesting. So it seems like we stay up all night and read the Puranas. So text 82, remaining awake all night is an eternal function. So in the conversation between Lord Brahma and Narada Muni, which is found in Skanda Purana, it's stated, past and future members of the families of those who do not remain awake at night on the night of Ekadasi will be degraded. So you degrade your ancestors and you degrade your descendants as well. Text 83. Those who do not remain awake on the night of Ekadasi will be degraded. Their wealth, piety, and children will meet with destruction, and they will reside in hell for a long time, along with their forefathers. Text 84. O exalted Brahmanas, without remaining awake on the night of Dwadasi, without remaining awake on the night of Dwadasi, does it actually say Dwadasi here? Yes, Vina Dwadasi Jagra. Okay. So it's also Dwadasi, such as chanting of mantras, giving of charity, or engaging in meditation will go in vain. Okay. So this is new. It's now saying also it has to stay awake on Dwadasi night. Remaining awake is an important act for attaining relief from sinful reactions. Therefore, it's an eternal function. Text 85. In the conversation between Uma and Maheshwara that is found in the same Purana, I believe we're talking about Skanda Purana still, it says, those who do not remain awake on the night of Ekadasi lose all their pious merit, just as one loses all the piety by blaspheming a Vaishnava. Text 86. One who has no interest in remaining awake the entire night of Dwadasi certainly has no right to worship Lord Hari. Text 87. Lord Brahma made this statement, which is found in the Skanda Purana. One in whose heart Lord Hari, the master of mystic powers, resides, takes great pleasure in remaining awake throughout the night of Dwadasi. So here we're hearing about the Dwadasi night also. So it's interesting because I think probably if we're talking about you're not supposed to sleep on Ekadasi, but it doesn't say that you can't sleep on Dwadasi yet. So it seems like you should stay awake on the sleep on the Dasami night, stay awake all night on the Ekadasi, and then after the breakfast on Dwadasi, maybe you can take a nap, and then again stay up all night on the Dwadasi. That would be my understanding. So singing and playing of musical instruments has been described earlier in connection with the eternal worship of the Lord. Now it will be described with regards to the present topics. So it's going to talk about singing and playing musical instruments. Text 89. Singing and so on are customary while staying awake the night of a vow. In a conversation between Uma and Maheshwara found in the Skanda Purana, it is stated, while remaining awake all night, one who neither sings nor recites the scriptures but rather remains like a dumb animal, will actually become dumb in the next 7 lives. Text 90. O Parvati, a foolish person who does not dance before Lord Hari, while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, will be born as a lame man in his next 7 lives. Text 91. In the discussion of Paksha Vardhini, that is found in the Padma Purana, this verse appears. No festival will take place in the houses of 7 generations of the family of one who never glorifies the vow of remaining awake on the night of Lord Hari. Text 92. Festivals will take place at the houses of 10 generations of the families of those who praise the vow to remain awake on the night of Ekadasi, which is the day of Lord Hari, who carries a disc in his hand. Text 93. The glories of the vow to remain awake at night. In the conversation between Lord Brahma and Narada Muni that's found in the Skanda Purana and the Prahlad Samhita, it is stated, without following the vow of remaining awake throughout the night of Dwadasi, one cannot deliver his forefathers, even by offering oblations to them at Gaya. That's called the Gaya Shraddha, bathing in many holy places of pilgrimage and performing many sacrifices. Text 94. In whatever situation one may find oneself in, if one remains awake on the night of Ekadasi, then for every 3 hours he stays awake, he will destroy the sins committed during 1,000 lifetimes. This is interesting. 3 hours is usually called a prahara, and in connection with Shivaratri, we also divide up the night into sections of 3 hours. So, text 95. A brahmana one who lights a ghee lamp and offers it to the Lord while remaining awake during the night of Ekadasi will obtain the benefit of giving 100 cows in charity. Text 96. One who offers flowers to Lord Hari while observing the vow of remaining awake at night receives the benefit of performing a horse sacrifice with each flower he offers. Text 97. One who, while worshipping Lord Vishnu, burns incense made from aguru, as he remains awake during the night of Dwadasi, obtains every moment the merit of donating 100 pots of sesame seeds. Text 98. O Brahmana, one who, while remaining awake during the night of Ekadasi, offers gugula mixed with ghee. This is a type of dupe or type of incense to the Lord. Even for a moment, obtains the merit of offering ghee lamps on other occasions for a month. Google and mixed with ghee. I'm not sure. Maybe that makes a particular type of lamp. Anyway, fragrant lamp. So, text 99. One who offers Havishya rice while remaining awake during the night of Ekadasi receives the benefit of donating a mountain of shali rice. So we have to check out what the difference between Havishya rice and shali rice is. Text 100. One who offers fruit and cooked rice to Lord Padmanabha on the night of Ekadasi while contemplating the vow of remaining awake obtains the merit of giving 10,000 cows in charity. Now, obviously, we're offering fruits, but we're also offering cooked rice. What does it say here for cooked rice? Pakva anani. Anna is usually food or cooked rice. Pakva is cooked. Cooked rice to Lord Padmanabha on the night of Ekadasi while completing the vow of remaining awake obtains the merit of giving 10,000 cows in charity. Text 101. One who offers betel nuts mixed with camphor to Lord Hari while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi attains permanent residence in Swetadweep by the mercy of the Lord. Text 102. One who makes a flower decoration for Lord Padmanabha while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi becomes qualified to enjoy life in Brahmaloka, riding on an airplane decorated with flowers. Text 103. One who offers incense made of aguru and camphor to Lord Padmanabha while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi burns to ashes his sinful reactions that were accumulated during the previous 100,000 lifetimes. Text 104. O Brahmana, one who bathes Lord Krishna with milk, yogurt, and other substances while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi certainly becomes qualified to achieve liberation. So we can do this Abhishekam to the Lord also during the night. Text 105. One who, remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, offers costly garments to Lord Hari will go to reside in his supreme abode for as many rains of Manu as there are threads in those garments. Text 106. One who offers jewelry made of gold and jewels to the Lord while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi will reside with me, meaning with the Lord, for 7 kalpas because he is very dear to me. Text 107 to 108. O foremost sage, one who offers sandalwood paste mixed with camphor, aguru, saffron, and musk to Lord Hari while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi will obtain, in this age of Kali, the merit of performing a horse sacrifice with each substance he offers. This is only possible by Lord Krishna's mercy. Text 109. One who offers a ghee lamp to the Lord while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi obtains the merit of giving 10,000 cows in charity each moment. Text 110. One who on the night of Ekadasi offers a lamp with camphor for the pleasure of Lord Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, will receive the benefit of donating 10 million brown cows. Text 111. One who offers arati with camphor to Lord Hari while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi will obtain liberation from material existence along with 10,000 of his family members. Text 112. By offering arti, even without camphor, to Lord Hari on the night of Ekadasi, the worshipper gains immense benefit, even if he is poor. Text 113. One who pours water on the head of Lord Hari from a conch shell will obtain the merit of bathing in the Ganges. Text 114 to 116. After worshipping Lord Hari during the night of Ekadasi, one who recites with a pure heart the Vishnu Sahasranam Stotra, that is the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, the Bhagavad Gita, Gajendra Mokshana Stotra from the Bhagavatam, or other auspicious prayers that are chanted during the bathing ceremony of the Lord, such as Purusha Suktam, right, from the Rig Veda, or other Vedic mantras, obtains the merit of donating 100 brown cows with each syllable he recites. Such are the glories of the recitation before Lord Hari, the Lord of Sacrifice. Text 117. Those who sing, dance, and play musical instruments on the night of Ekadasi obtain more merit than what is obtained by performing 100 sacrifices or giving charity 100 times. Text 118. One who sings and dances without feeling ashamed before the Lord receives the merit of following the principles of the 4 spiritual orders of life within a moment. The 4 spiritual orders of life. Chatur ashrama means the four stages of life, the 4 ashramas. Chatur ashramaja palam. So text 119. One who explains the Shastra while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi for the pleasure of Lord Padmanabha will reside in the abode of Lord Hari for as many yugas as the number of verses chanted. Text 120 to 121. One who decorates the temple of Lord Hari, who holds a disc in his hand with banana trees and mango leaves, will enjoy life in the heavenly planets for as many yugas as there are leaves in his decoration. He will receive adoration from the demigods headed by Indra and will be entertained by celestial ladies with singing and dancing, Text 122. If a friend or relative of one who dances before the Lord during the night of Ekadasi is suffering in hell, he will be freed by Yamaraj and attain the supreme abode of Lord Hari. Text 123. After hearing the sweet songs of a devotee on the night of Ekadasi, Lord Narayana, the husband of Lakshmi, becomes so pleased that he bestows on him more opulence than that which is enjoyed by Indra, the king of heaven, for 100 reigns of Manu. Text 124. The primary benefit of dancing before the Lord while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi is liberation from material bondage. The secondary benefits include enjoyment of happiness on earth, in the heavenly planets, or in Rasatala and other lower planetary systems. Text 125. According to learned scholars, the benefit obtained by enacting transcendental dramas on the night of Ekadasi surpasses the benefit of performing 10 million sacrifices, practicing Astanga Yoga, or cultivating the science of self-realization. Text 126. One who offers rows of ghee lamps before Lord Hari on the night of Ekadasi while remaining awake will ascend to heaven after boarding an opulent airplane and reside there for a kalpa. Text 127. There is no Vaishnava equal to one who hears about the transcendental qualities of Lord Ramachandra on the night of Ekadasi. Text 128. One who recites the narrations of Lord Krishna as described in the Mahabharata while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi enables 10 million family members to ascend to heaven. Text 129. All sinful reactions that had been accumulated during thousands of millions of previous lives of one who recites the characteristics of Dhruva Maharaj, the son of Uttanapada, and the childhood pastimes of Lord Krishna are nullified. Text 130. Therefore, it is the duty of everyone to remain awake on the night of both the Ekadasi of the waxing moon and the Ekadasi of the waning moon. Text 131. One who recites the Srimad Bhagavatam before the Supreme Lord while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi delivers his family members to the transcendental abode of the Supreme Lord. Text 132 to 133. One who regularly reads the 18 Puranas, which are very dear to Lord Krishna, the primeval Lord, especially during the night of Ekadasi, who reads the Bhagavad Gita or Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra, 1,000 Names of Vishnu, obtains the merit of studying all the Vedic literature. Text 134. There is no doubt that one who donates a cow along with her calf on the night of Ekadasi obtains the results of donating the entire earth consisting of 7 islands. Text 135. One who erects an elevated stage for a performance of dramas on the night of Ekadasi, which is very dear to Lord Padmanabha, will reside in the planet of Dhruva for as long as Lord Brahma continues to live. Text 136. O Brahmana, the foremost of all pious activities that can be performed in this world is to remain awake throughout the night of Ekadasi. This fact is celebrated everywhere within the 3 worlds. Text 137. Those who sincerely desire to remain awake on the night of Ekadasi while engaging in the devotional service of the Lord with their body, mind, and speech will never return to this material world from the supreme abode of Lord Vishnu. Text 138. When Lord Hari sees someone dancing in ecstasy on the night of Dwadasi, he forgives whatever sinful activities he committed during the current yuga. Text 139. One who enthusiastically remains awake on the night of Ekadasi and inspires others to do so will become the emperor of the earth, just like King Bharat. Text 140. O Brahmana, you certainly must have heard from the Shastra about how a dog eater once attained liberation by pleasing Lord Hari with his singing and dancing on the night of Ekadasi. Text 141. By dancing on the night of Ekadasi, Dilipa of the Surya dynasty became the undisputed emperor of the earth. Nahusha of the Chandra dynasty also became a celebrated king by offering arghya on the night of Ekadasi. Text 142. By remaining awake during the night of the Vyanjuli Mahadwadasi and offering fruit to the Lord, Srinjaya of the Chandra dynasty obtained a kingdom without opposition. Text 143. O exalted sage, by remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi and offering cloth to the Lord, Nabhaga was awarded a kingdom by Lord Narayana, the husband of Lakshmi. Text 144. O Brahmana, the celebrated celestial dancer Menaka achieved perfection by remaining awake on the night of Mahadwadasi and displaying her dancing skills for the satisfaction of the Lord. Text 145. Alarka became a celebrated king by remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi next to a Tulsi garden. Text 146. Long ago, King Alarka ruled the earth for 66,000 years. Text 147. Shandili achieved perfection by cleansing the floor of the temple courtyard and decorating it on both the Ekadasi of the waxing and waning moon. Text 148. By remaining awake on the night of Unmilini Mahadwadasi and offering a lamp to the Supreme Lord, Indradumna attained his kingdom. Text 149. As a result of playing the musical instrument Veena before Lord Hari on Dolyatra, Purarava became the emperor of the earth. Even for the demigods, such a position is rarely achieved. Text 150. By utilizing his wealth and energy, King Kakutsta made arrangements for others to remain awake on the night of Ekadasi. As a result, he became the ruler of a very extensive kingdom. Text 151. By singing, while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, a female dog-eater named Mrigi was next born as a queen in the planet of the Gandharvas. Text 152. Sage Richika, the father of Jamadagni, will regain his kingdom because he had played the flute before Lord Vishnu during the night of Vijaya Mahadwadasi. Text 153. O Brahmana, any singer, dancer, or musician can attain the heavenly planets by performing while remaining awake throughout the night of Ekadasi. Text 154. O foremost sage, as a result of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi with a desire to achieve material gain, even those who were low-born attained exalted positions. Text 155. Many dog-eaters also attained liberation by remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi with a pure heart. One's position in society is not considered in this regard. Text 156. In this age of Kali, meditation, bathing in the Ganges, or chanting Vedic mantras does not purify one as much as remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi. Indeed, it can certainly award one liberation. Text 157. It is useless labor only for the twice-born members of society to remain in their respective ashrams and perform their prescribed duties very nicely without observing the vow of remaining awake on the night of Dwadasi. Text 158. Lakshmi Devi, the demigods headed by Indra, the forefathers, the leaders of human society, and the sages headed by Sanaka are averse to those who do not observe the vow of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi. Text 159. Even one person from a family can deliver his forefathers from the cycle of repeated birth and death simply by remaining awake on the night of Dwadasi. What then is the use of having many children who do not observe this vow? Text 160. Those who are expert in understanding of the Vedas have declared that a dear devotee of the Supreme Lord is one who remains awake on the night of an Ekadasi that is not polluted by the touch of dasami. Text 160. He with whom the Supreme Lord is pleased will receive a pious and obedient son. Even one son who is a devotee of the Lord can deliver his forefathers, although they may reside in hell, by remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi. Text 162. No one, whether he be a devotee of Surya, a devotee of Shiva, a devotee of Brahma, a devotee of the goddess Durga, or a devotee of any other demigod, is equal to a devotee of Lord Vishnu. Very interesting. That's a very good sloka. So, text 163. The four objectives of life: religiosity, economic development, sense gratification and liberation, that is, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, are not difficult to obtain for one who always dwells on the glories of remaining awake throughout the night of Ekadasi. Text 164. The benefit of hearing the glories of remaining awake during the night of Ekadasi. So just hearing the glories of remaining awake, not even remaining awake, but just hearing the glories of remaining awake is going to benefit you. In Skanda Purana, it is declared, one who hears about the glories of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi will achieve the same benefit as one who fasts on Ekadasi for 100 years. So just the person who hears the glories about staying awake achieves the benefit of a person who fasts on Ekadasi for 100 years, right? So we're all in that category. We're hearing that right now. We're hearing the glories of staying awake on Ekadasi. So text 165. My dear son, one who devotedly hears the glories of remaining awake on the night of Dwadasi, as spoken by me, delivers 100 generations of his family. Text 166. In this age of Kali, one who recites the childhood pastimes of Lord Krishna while remaining awake on the night of Dwadasi will reside in the abode of the Lord for 10,000 million years, along with his forefathers. Text 167 and 168. Now, the pious merit one achieves by chanting the glories of the Vyanjali Mahadwadasi after remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi will be described. For, O foremost sage, one who performs this act will attain the merit of observing 100 Ekadasis. Text 169. One may not attain liberation by performing sacrifices in the course of millions of lifetimes, but one can obtain liberation by remaining awake on the night of Dwadasi even once. Text 170. One who recites the glories of Dwadasi while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi will be freed from all sinful reactions and attain the transcendental abode Vaikuntha. Even while remaining in this world, he will not be troubled by inauspicious stars or planets. Text 171. The fault of not remaining awake. So normally the way it works is when we have these Mahatmyams, these glorifications of a particular thing in scripture, it'll first of all glorify the thing in order to, and it not only glorified staying awake on Ekadasi, but it glorified talking about or praising staying awake on Ekadasi. It was so important. Now they're going to give the fault of people who don't observe staying awake on Ekadasi. So the fault of not remaining awake. In a conversation between Uma and Maheshwara found in Skanda Purana, it's stated, only those who are bitten by the snake of Kali Yuga or completely bewildered by Maya will sleep on the night of Ekadasi. or not remain awake on the night of Dwadasi. Text 172, one who does not remain awake throughout the night of Ekadasi is to be considered dead, although breathing. Text 173, O Gauri, by remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, one can attain the merit of performing 10 million horse sacrifices and Vajrapaya sacrifices. Vajrapaya is a type of Shravata sacrifice. Big sacrifice. 174, O gentle lady, one can deliver the members of his father's family, mother's family, and father-in-law's family. What about his mother-in-law's family? Okay. By observing the vow of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi. Text 175. Lord Hari personally appears and dances in ecstasy in the midst of those devotees who remain awake on the night of an Ekadasi that is not polluted by the touch of dasami. Text 176. The number of times one remains awake on the night of Ekadasi, that many yugas multiplied by 10,000, he will reside in the abode of Lord Vishnu. Text 177. As long as one lives without observing the vow of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, the Yamadutas will continuously boast while brandishing their weapons. Text 178. One who recites the Puranas while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi will experience all kinds of material enjoyment in this life and will never run the risk of becoming a ghost. Text 179. It is a fact that one who sings and dances while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi will easily attain Brahmaloka, Shivaloka, and Vaikuntha. Text 180. One who encourages others to remain awake on the night of Ekadasi is certainly a devotee of Lord Vishnu. As such, he will eternally reside in Vaikuntha along with his forefathers. Text 181. One who inspires others to observe the vow of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi remains eligible to reside in Vaikuntha for 60,000 years. Text 182. O Parvati, whatever sinful activities people may have committed during 10 million previous lives are reduced to ashes simply by remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi. Text 183. Those who remain awake on the night of Ekadasi in the presence of the Shalagram Shila obtain the merit of observing 10 million Chandrayana vows for every 3 hours they stay awake. For every 3 hours that you stay awake, it's equal to a Chandrayana fast. A Chandrayana fast is where you eat one handful or one spoonful or one handful or one mouthful of food on the pratama, and then increase to 2 and 3. And first of all, you decrease from the full moon. You decrease from 15 handfuls or 15 mouthfuls down to 0 on Amavasya, and then back up again for 1 month to 15 again on the next full moon. That's a Chandrayana fast. So it's a fast according to the phases of the moon. Text 184. One cannot obtain material enjoyment, wealth, opulence, good children, fame, or any desired goal of life by performing 1,000 sacrifices unless and until he remains awake throughout the night of Ekadasi. Text 185. While going to the temple of Lord Hari to observe the vow of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, one receives the merit of performing a horse sacrifice at each step. Text 186. While walking to the temple with as many particles of dust that one accumulates on his feet, that many thousands of years one remains awake on the night of Ekadasi, will reside in the heavenly planets. Text 187. Therefore, in this age of Kali, one should visit the temple of Lord Hari to observe the vow of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi so that his sinful reactions will be nullified. Text 188. If one fails to remain awake on the night of Dwadasi, all of his pious activities, such as observing various vows and undergoing atonement, or visiting holy places of pilgrimage, are rendered useless. Text 189. O Parvati, one who does not fail to execute his vow of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, even while traveling to a distant place and therefore tired, is certainly very dear to me. So somebody who really, even though he's traveling, still observes his staying awake is dear to Lord Krishna. Text 190. If I have nothing to do with one, despite staying at home and enjoying good health, does not observe the vow of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi. Text 191. One who does not remain awake on the night of Ekadasi, but due to being bewildered by sinful life, is not my devotee. I do not accept his worship because he disregards my worshipable Lord. He disregards my worshipable Lord. It may be spoken by somebody like Shiva. So, text 192, one whose body is filled with sinful reactions, both internally and externally, can be relieved from such a condition by remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi. Text 193, even in this formidable age of Kali, those who remain awake on the night of an Ekadasi that is not polluted by the touch of Dasami are as worshipable as demigods. Text 194. One who has remained awake on the night of Dwadasi that is not polluted, pushes aside Yamaraj and his messages and attains the abode of Lord Vishnu. Text 195. O dear one, those who arrange flower decorations for the Lord on the night of Dwadasi obtain the merit of performing a horse sacrifice with each of the flowers used. Text 196. Lord Hari provides a residence in his own abode to one who decorates the temple of the Supreme Lord with banana trees. Text 197. O Parvati, those who offer a lamp to the Lord while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi are freed from all illusion and attain the transcendental abode of Lord Vishnu. Text 198. If Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, women, fallen souls, low-born men, demons, and other similarly conditioned living beings observe the vow of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, they also attain the supreme abode of the Lord Vishnu. Text 199. What remains to be accomplished for one who, of his own free will, sings and dances with devotion while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi? Text 200 to 203. One who, while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, claps his hands, dances in ecstasy, sings beautifully, pleases the assembled Vaishnavas, recites Krishna's pastimes, displays symptoms of ecstatic love, such as standing of the hair on end, makes pleasing sounds, and discusses spiritual topics with others, obtains the merit of bathing at millions of holy places of pilgrimage with the passage of every moment. Yeah, text 204. One who, with a peaceful mind, offers incense and other articles of worship to the Lord while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi becomes the emperor of the earth with its 7 islands. Text 205. My dear wife Parvati, if there is no temple of the Supreme Lord available for observing the vow of remaining awake during the night of Ekadasi, one should go to my temple for that purpose. So you can go to the Shiva temple to do this. Know for certain that I am very dear to Lord Madhava. Text 206. If a temple of Lord Shiva is not available, then one should approach a temple dedicated to the sun god to observe this vow, because the sun god is as good as Lord Vishnu. Nice pramanam. Text 207. If there is no temple of the sun god available, then if one happens to be in the forest on Ekadasi, one should watch the Shravana star. Shravana star is the star of Vishnu, right? Which bears the mark of the 3 steps of Lord Vishnu, and in this way complete his vow. Text 208. O Master of the demigods, one may also observe this vow by remaining awake at the temple or place where the Shalagam Shila is present. Text 209. If due to the presence of clouds, one cannot see the above-mentioned star, that's the Shravana Nakshatra, he should sit down beneath an Ashwata tree. Ashwata is also the banyan tree, which represents also Lord Vishnu, and observe his vow. Text 210. O Gauri, one who may also observe this vow by remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi under an Amalaki tree, right? In a Tulsi garden, at a holy pond or lake, or on the banks of a river. Text 211. O Mahadevi, if none of these are available, then one can sit down in the association of Vaishnavas and perform worship of the Lord within his mind. Text 212. O Gauri, without observing the vow of remaining awake throughout the night of Ekadasi, one cannot attain the actual result of observing Ekadasi. Truthfully, I and other demigods do not feel satisfied with such a person. So there you go. That 212 says if you don't stay awake on the night of Ekadasi, one cannot actually attain the result of observing Ekadasi. And 213 says, among all kinds of sacrifices, remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi is considered to be the best because it is in relation to Lord Krishna. Text 214. Therefore, one should give up everything else and observe this vow. Text 215. In the conversation between Devaduta and Vikunda, which was recorded in Padma Purana, it's stated, by remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi and worshipping the Supreme Lord, one delivers 10 generations of his father's family, mother's family, and father-in-law's family. 216. In the Markandeya Purana, it's stated, O maintainers of the earth, it is said that by remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, one achieves liberation from material bondage, even if one does not practice meditation, cultivate transcendental knowledge, or perform any pious activities. Text 217. Prahlad made this statement, which is found in the Prahlad Samhita. All kinds of sinful activities, including the killing of a Brahmana, are eradicated simply by remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, which is very dear to Lord Krishna. 218. According to another opinion of lunar devotees, if one were to place all kinds of sacrifices along with the required dakshina on one side of a scale and the vow of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi on the other side, right, the vow to remain awake on the night of Ekadasi would seem heavier, to be heavier. Text 219. Whenever one remains awake on the night of Ekadasi, which is very dear to Lord Krishna, all the demigods headed by Brahma, Shiva, and Indra personally appear at that place. Text 220. Even though we are busy worshipping the Lord Hari, the sages, headed by Narada, exalted personalities such as Vyasa and myself, Prahlada, always take part in the function of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi. Text 221 to 222. All holy places such as Pushkar, Kashi, Prayaga, Namasharanya, Gaya, Shaligrama, Arbudharanya, and Mathura, as well as all sacrifices and 4 Vedas, are present at the place where one is observing the vows of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi. Text 223. In the same way, sacred rivers such as the Ganga, Saraswati, Reva, Yamuna, Shatadru, Chandrabhaga, and Tishta are also present at the place where one observes the vow of remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi. O best of twice-born, all pious reservoirs of water, including lakes, ponds, and oceans, are also present at the place where such a vow is being observed. Text 225. Those who chant and dance while playing the stringed instrument known as the veena, while remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, are worshipable by the demigods. 226. The glories of remaining awake on the nights of Janmastami, Uttana Ekadasi, when the Lord wakes up from Chatumasya sleep, and so on, will be described later on. Text 227. Thereafter, at the end of the night, one should joyfully sing in glorification of the Rasa Leela of Lord Krishna, employing the appropriate morning ragas for the pleasure of the Lord. 228. In this regard, in Skanda Purana, it's stated, one who, after remaining awake on the night of Ekadasi, sings sweet songs glorifying Lord Krishna's loving pastimes, will deliver his entire family, just as a Brahmana can deliver even dog eaters. Atha Parnadina Krityam, the duties to be performed on the day of breaking fast. So we'll stop here, and next time we'll see the duties that we have to do after we've finished the whole section on staying awake on Ekadasi. Now we'll find out what is the duties to be done on the next day when we break the fast of Ekadasi.
Om Namo Narayanaaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya.